right, so we now can move our camera and we can roll. We need to add in jump. So if I go to my inputs folder and look at IA jump, I can see that my value type is a bool, true or false, because we're going to set this to a button press, specifically the space bar. So you can close that, go to IMC PlayerBall, go down to IA jump, and we'll bind this to space. That's all we got to do there. So we'll save this. And then we go into our Visual Studio and look for our jump function. There we go. Then we're going to do F vector jump impulse is equal to F vector parentheses, and an F vector wants three values. It wants X, Y, and Z. We want to move up, right? So X is forward, Y is left and right. Z is going to be up. So we're going to pass in 0, comma, 0, comma, something. Let's do 10 for right now. Go to the end of the line, semicolon. Well, before we actually even go there, we don't want to set it to 10. But we know we're going to have to make a variable for it, so let's go ahead and do that. Go PlayerBall.h, and I'm going to copy this U property here for roll speed. I'm going to copy and paste it below. And instead of roll speed, I'm going to set this to JumpForce. And I'll set it to, I'll leave it at 20. Save that. Go back to our roll function, our jump function rather, and change this to be our JumpForce. So we pass in the JumpForce. Now we do for your collision. Minus sign caret, so arrow, and we'll say add impulse. And in this case, we want the impulse, bone name, and the velocity change, just like we do with add angular degrees. Okay, well, let's pass in the jump impulse, comma, and we'll do the name underscore none again, and true for the velocity change, because we want it to ignore mass. All right, we'll save that. Go to Unreal, compile. And you might be thinking, that was really easy. That can't just be it. You're right, it's not. But if I press the spacebar, I jump. But I can hold it down and then I'm hovering, which is not really what we want. We want to be able to jump, not hover in the air. So how do we do this? How do we control how many times it jump? Well, we're going to make a variable that will be a flag that says, hey, can you jump? Yes, no. If we're on the ground, we're going to set it to where, yes, you can jump once. But if you're not on the ground, you can't jump anymore. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to need to do a simple collision check and make that flag. So I'm going to go to Visual Studio, PlayerBall.h, and here inside of our class, we're going to make a new variable called CanJump. And so in here, I'm going to actually copy and paste this whole thing for the view property. I want to be able to edit anywhere in Blueprint and read write. But the value, I want it to be a bool, so a boolean, true or false. Bool CanJump equals true. By default, when we land, we want to be able to jump. Go to PlayerBall, and then instead of here, instead of jump, we're going to wrap all of this inside of a check. We're going to say, if you can jump is equal to, double equal sign, true. Then curly braces, enter. Take this stuff, and we're going to cut this out and put it inside our curly braces. We're saying, hey, if you can jump, then you can jump. But once you've jumped, we're going to set CanJump equals false. So we're changing that variable that boolean from true to false. Because you jumped, you don't get to jump again. So I'll save this, go into Visual Studio. Go into Unreal and compile. Then I'll press play. I'm gonna hit the spacebar and, well, I'm not jumping. Am I? Am I jumping? Maybe I'm not jumping enough. I'll go to my PlayerBall, and then I'm going to set my JumpForce to, I'll set it to like, I don't know, 500. Save that, compile. Does it now. And I jump once. I'm hitting the spacebar, and I don't get to jump again. But it did work. I can jump. Cool. How do we reset it so it will reset the variable back to true when we hit the ground? Well, I'm going to go BP PlayerBall, clear collision, and we're going to look for collision. Here we have simulation generates hit events. Turn that on. This makes it so we can hit something and we can trigger something. Cool. File and save this. And we could do this part in C++, but it is way more complicated than it needs to be to do so. So we're going to do what professionals do, which is to use the event graph and do some of the harder stuff in Blueprint because it's just easier. All right, so in the event graph, in the empty space here, I'm going to right click. I'm going to do hit events. So event hit. So on event hit, we want to drag from here, and we'll do CanJump, set CanJump equal to true. So when we hit something, we can jump. Later on, we're going to need to make a check to see if we hit the ground or if we hit something that is in the ground, in which case we wouldn't reset the jump. But for right now, this is enough. File and save, play, and jump. Jump. When I'm in the air, I can't jump again. And now I can jump. I do bounce a little bit, so I kind of get a weird bouncy kind of effect where I can kind of double jump. If I go forward fast enough, I bounce, I can kind of jump again. I go a little bit higher each time. But we can't turn while we're doing that. So that does change how we design our level because we can't jump and turn. We don't have aerial control. When we jump, we just roll in the direction that we were going in. But that's a later kind of dilemma